Okay. Okay. So formally, I want to say good morning to you once again. We did something on performance management system yesterday. Please quickly give me a throwback of some things you took out of yesterday's session.
Okay. I learned the 4 key areas of a good appraisal is timeliness, content, report, and presentation.
Okay.
Yeah, everything should be done to achieve a very good appraisal. That's when you can say your appraisal is complete.
Yeah.
No, then we train for skill and we develop for succession.
Yeah.
Then performance management is an ongoing thing. It's an everyday thing. It's not something you just do one-off.
Yes.
It's performance appraisal that is done one-off.
Thank you. Thank you.
Another key thing I learned is that I should never miss exit interviews because vital information can be gotten from it.
Awesome. What other things did you take home? Any other thing?
Yes, I learned that performance development plan, that's PDP.
Yes.
Should be done at intervals. We meet with the team member at different points to measure performance. That's also performance management.
Yes. That's very good. Any other thing?
There are quite a lot.
And
those are the key things, because when I do the training, what I do, I just pick out some very key things.
All right.
That,
okay. Yes. Okay. That's awesome. I love the fact that at least you are clear about some key things to pick up. So today we will still go on a little bit further, into the area of performance management, and I will share with you my slide. Can you see my slide?
No, not yet, sir.
Not yet. Okay. Please, I will share it now. Can you now see it?
Yes, I can.
Okay, awesome. So, the performance management system, or the PMS, as I call it, this is what it looks like. Number one, there must be guiding policies. For instance, policies about your PDP. How often do you expect that managers, keep frequent records and all that, and also update you? If you are using, for instance, a collaborative tool. I think you have a collaborative tool you use. Google, what is the collaborative tool you use?
G Suite.
Okay, it's Google Suite. That's
yes.
Good. So as they input the report, real time online, you can also see it and you can also comment real time online. Okay, and the reports on G Suite can be shared in between the 3 of you, HR, the line manager, and the appraisee, the staff you are appraising. Is PDP also, 3 of you can see it at once, so that you can add to it consistently and continuously as time goes on. So the G Suite will be a very good platform for you to use. That's one thing. But no, as I've said, the frequency of updating, must be included in your policy. Your policy must, state clearly also, the normal thing about your appraisal. Is it twice? Is it 3 times? And when to occur? When will it be open? When will it occur? Your policies must encapsulate almost everything we've studied so far on performance management system. Okay, your policy must state that, look, we are not only looking at the exams, so to say, we are looking also at the continuous assessments. Don't forget, I used that allegory yesterday. That performance management system is like a continuous assessment system, way of appraising the staff, so that it is not only the final exams. And I said your policy therefore must state: is it 60-40? Is it 70-30 in favor of maybe the continuous assessment, which is the continuous performance management meetings that you have, and also what percentage will be given to the final? Is it twice a year or once a year or quarterly performance appraisals? So it must be clearly stated. All right, there. So just know that you must have a performance management policy. All right. Part of the assignment I will give unto you is that by the end of this month, I want you to even to, give me a draft of your performance management policy.
Okay.
Okay. So I want that to be firmed up. Even not this month. I give you 2 weeks to do that. 2 weeks.
And that's till the end of the month.
Oh, is it? Okay, all right. Still end of the month. No problem. So end of the month, okay? No problem.
Yes, sir.
No problem. So please note that down. I need you to put together performance management policy based on the things you've learned. Not forgetting that everything we do in the organization is about performance management. Whether it's training, whether it's recruitment, whether it's compensation, is about performance. And that is why this is central to all you do as a human resource manager and even as line managers, even as production managers, every manager in the company, performance management system is central to all that we do. Even the CEO, the MD, this is central to what he does. You understand that?
Yes,
so this is very important. So, then, having firmed up your policy, you have to set up the performance objectives and standards, which I explained even in the previous edition. The standards will determine also what kind of, how do you want to measure performance? What model do you want to use? I've recommended to you, I don't like the 5 Likite model of poor to excellent. So people will hide in between. But I like clearly the 3 step model, which shows that whether you met the standard, or you did not meet the standard, or you exceeded the standard. It's just simple. Okay, and you will have to be clear about defining this. So that is like your performance dictionary. Your performance objectives and standards is your performance dictionary, so to say. You understand that?
Yes, sir.
Okay, then the performance appraisal process, which I said, that is now the meet face-to-face thing, or if, for your company, because it's not, you don't have people on the field that are outside, even the office, everyone, can be able to do it face-to-face. So is it twice in a year? Is it once in a year? Is it quarterly? It must be clear. What is the starting time in line with the policy you've set? For how long is the duration? All right. Under this performance, appraisal process, that is where, don't forget, earlier on in the year, you have developed even and have reviewed all the performance appraisal instruments. Okay, but it is not a one-off bullet based on how the company, is evolving and the new demands on your employees. You may have to review even whether the performance appraisal instruments are still even good enough. Else, they may not be good enough in terms of the fact that they are not taking into cognizance or measuring new things that you are demanding of your employees. So you have to review it maybe half year or just before you do the appraisals. Are they still capturing the real thing? Don't forget, I use your own appraisal from yesterday to point out that there are some things we need to to infuse and to change yesterday, and you noted it down. All right.
Yes, sir.
So that then managing underperformance and discipline is also one of the critical things under the performance management system. Now having finished the performance appraisal process, you found out that someone is underperforming. What is the decision? All of this, what is the decision? What's the action point? How do we manage underperformance and apply discipline? This is a very, very important. Sometimes underperformance, if you scrutinize and you may find that look, it is not just by firing. It might be that look, you have put the right peg in the wrong hole. So it might just be that look, the person needs to be moved to another department, and there he or she will shine. It might also be that look, you may hold the person, you put him under maybe a coach, even to help him or her, during that time. Okay, when you are doing, managing underperformance, you must, within that period, before the next appraisal, clearly stipulate areas in which you expect the person even to focus. Clearly stipulate it shouldn't be vague. You must clearly stipulate the areas on the performance, what is needed to be done, where you will come in as HR and as a line manager, and what is expected of the employee. And you will stipulate clearly time. You won't wait for the next appraisal before you do this. You stipulate clearly the time during your performance, management meetings when you will appraise this person, and it must be done formally, so that there is a meeting of minds in terms of what is expected. You get that?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and it must be clear that if, however, there is still underperformance having done all, this might be the repercussion. So it is known to everyone. Okay, and another thing, another very critical module in the performance management system is the reward and system strategy. I've told you that reward and system is a part of performance management system. It is linked to it, and so your reward and remuneration or compensation strategy, so to say, all right, is linked to performance. So you must stipulate that within your policy also, that you set up. Maybe in a broad way. For instance, you may stipulate that those who exceed performance, okay, at the end of the year when remuneration review is being done, maybe it's a 50% plus on their present salary. Maybe those who just met, maybe it's a 10% plus, because you must make it so aspirational that people want to exceed performance. The difference between exceed and just met must be very, very glaring in terms of the difference. So people are aspiring even to exceed performance, not just to meet performance. Okay, because meeting performance is almost like it is expected. That is why we are hired in the first instance. You are not hired to underperform. Then underperformance is a zero, so you put it, you put it there in your policy and all that. That's part of the strategy, okay, that you put together. So it's part of the performance management system. Yeah. Then don't forget, having identified in step 3, which is performance appraisal process, you've identified gaps, even which you are mitigating through the underperformance and on displaying step 4. But that step 3 also will help you to identify areas where, what are the problems. If skill, inadequate skill and incapacity is the problem, that, then your step 6, which is development plans and learning development activities, will be the intervention. Learning development activities like training, learning development activities like mentoring, like coaching, learning, like exposing to other department job excursions will be the solution at that time. Okay, if it is skill, if it is lack of capacity, if it is lack of experience, you expose him to those areas where he needs to be experienced. That is how to plan. So plan your training. So it is training that is fit for purpose. It is strategic training, not just training because everyone must be trained, even just to tick the box. You don't just train to tick the box. All right, you train because it is essential, even and it's strategic at meeting a particular gap, filling a particular gap, and meeting the particular need in the organization towards achieving the organizational goals and strategic aim for the year. Okay, so that is when you now sit down. So critical to training are the input from your performance appraisal, performance management system. Critical. Then this you will still agree with the line manager. Based on what I've seen, these are my recommendations. Do you see that is appropriate? What are your own suggestions also? Then you put it together, then you develop your that year's performance, that year's learning and development activities. And also, don't forget, part of this input also goes into the PDP, the performance development plans. All right. So do you understand all the six modules, the 6 steps in performance management system now?
Yes, I do. It's clearer now.
Perfect. So your performance management policy, step 1, performance objectives and standards, step 2, performance appraisal process, step 3, performance on managing underperformance and discipline, it must be clear, that's step 4. then the reward and remuneration strategy, step 5, then the PDP, and the learning development activity, step 6. So all of this make up your, what's it called? It makes
performance management system.
Good.